Most men go through life completely unaware of how they are actually perceived by women. They judge their attractiveness based on loud signals alone. If women are not constantly approaching them, complimenting them, or openly flirting, they assume they must not stand out. But attraction rarely works that way in real life, especially for men. A lot of women are subtle with their interest. They notice you quietly. They study you from a distance. They pay attention without making it obvious. And because of that, many attractive men spend years underestimating themselves without even realizing it. What makes this even more interesting is that the men who are truly attractive are often the least desperate for validation. They are not constantly fishing for compliments or trying to force attention onto themselves. They move naturally, and that calm energy makes them even more appealing. Meanwhile, average men who constantly seek approval usually assume attraction should always be loud and dramatic, when in reality the strongest attraction is usually quiet at first. The truth is, women rarely make things easy to read. A woman can be deeply interested in you and still avoid making the first move because she does not want to look too eager or vulnerable. That is why so many men completely miss the signs standing right in front of them. They think attraction only counts if a woman openly admits it, but female attraction is usually expressed through behavior, body language, attention, and emotional energy long before words ever come into the picture. And once you start recognizing these patterns, everything changes. You stop second-guessing yourself every time a woman looks your way. You stop assuming silence means rejection. You begin to understand that attraction is often communicated in subtle moments most men overlook. In this video, we are going to break down the signs that women notice you, desire you, and see you differently from the average man, even when they never directly say it out loud. The first major sign that women find you attractive is eye contact that lasts just a little too long. Most people make quick, casual eye contact throughout the day without thinking twice about it. But attraction changes the way a woman looks at you. When she is genuinely drawn to a man, her eyes naturally stay on him for longer than normal before she pulls away. That extra second matters more than most men realize. A woman who finds you attractive is usually trying to read your energy before she ever says a word to you. Eye contact becomes her way of testing the situation. She wants to see if you notice her. She wants to see how confident you are under pressure. And sometimes she simply enjoys looking at you longer because she likes what she sees. The problem is that many men dismiss these moments because they happen so quickly. They assume she was just staring into space or being polite, when in reality, attraction was already happening silently. Imagine walking into a coffee shop or a restaurant. As you casually look around the room, you suddenly catch a woman already looking at you. For a brief moment, neither of you looks away immediately. Then she quickly breaks eye contact, looks down at her drink, fixes her hair, or pretends to focus on something else. A few minutes later, you catch her glancing at you again to see if you are still paying attention. That behavior is rarely random. Women do not repeatedly lock eyes with men they feel nothing toward. Attraction naturally creates curiosity, and curiosity always creates attention. The second look is usually the biggest giveaway, because it means she is thinking about you even after the moment already passed. A woman who is completely uninterested normally does not keep checking for your attention afterward. What makes attractive men stand out is not that women throw themselves at them publicly. It is that women quietly notice them over and over again. Those lingering looks, nervous glances, and repeated eye contact moments are often the first signs that your presence is affecting her emotionally before a conversation even begins. Another strong sign that women find you attractive is when they consistently find reasons to be near you. This is something that happens very naturally and subconsciously. A woman who is drawn to a man will often position herself closer to him without fully realizing she is doing it. She may enter conversations you are part of, walk past you more often than necessary, or suddenly appear nearby in situations where she could easily be somewhere else instead. This happens because attraction creates emotional curiosity. When a woman feels intrigued by a man, she wants to experience his energy more closely. She wants opportunities for interaction without having to directly admit her interest. Being physically near you allows her to stay connected to your attention while still protecting herself from rejection or embarrassment. That is why women rarely make attraction obvious in the beginning. They prefer subtle proximity over direct pursuit. Picture yourself at a social event or party. There are multiple areas she could stand in, yet somehow she keeps drifting toward your side of the room. You notice her joining group conversations that involve you, laughing louder when you speak, or lingering near the bar while you are there. Maybe she casually asks small questions that are not even necessary, just to create interaction. To most men, these moments seem meaningless, but in reality, women invest their attention carefully. They usually do not repeatedly place themselves around men they feel no attraction toward. People naturally enjoy being around individuals they admire or find attractive. Women are no different. Your presence becomes emotionally stimulating to them, even if they cannot fully explain why. And the more confident and relaxed you are, the stronger this effect becomes. A lot of attractive men underestimate how often this happens, because women are skilled at disguising interest as coincidence, but patterns reveal the truth. If the same woman repeatedly places herself around you, looks for excuses to interact, or quietly stays within your orbit, there is usually attraction behind it. Women move toward what emotionally captures their attention, even before they consciously admit it to themselves. One thing most men fail to understand is that attraction is not only about physical appearance. Presence matters just as much, sometimes even more. The way people react when you speak says a lot about how they perceive you. When you are an attractive man with strong energy, people naturally pay closer attention to your words. Conversations shift when you begin talking. People lean in slightly, maintain stronger eye contact, and wait to hear your opinion before moving forward. This happens because of something psychologists call the halo effect. When people see one desirable trait in you, especially attractiveness or confidence, they subconsciously assume you possess other positive qualities too. They begin associating you with intelligence, leadership, social value, confidence, and competence before you even prove any of those things directly. It is a silent psychological advantage that attractive men experience constantly without realizing it. Think about certain men who walk into a room and instantly command attention without raising their voice. They are not trying too hard, they are not speaking non-stop, yet people naturally focus on them. Their calmness creates authority, their confidence makes their words feel more valuable. Women especially respond strongly to this because emotional security and social confidence are deeply attractive traits. Imagine yourself in a group setting. Several people are talking at once, but the moment you begin speaking, the energy subtly changes. Women hold eye contact with you longer. People stop interrupting. Others react more strongly to your jokes, stories, or opinions. Even small comments seem to carry more impact. That kind of attention is rarely random. Attractive men often underestimate how powerful their presence really is because they assume everyone experiences the same reactions socially. But they do not. Most people have to fight hard for attention in conversations. When people naturally listen to you without effort, it usually means your energy already carries social weight. And the strongest part about this is that confidence amplifies attractiveness even more. The calmer and more certain you are while speaking, the more people subconsciously see you as high value. Women notice that instantly, because confidence that feels natural is one of the rarest traits a man can possess today. Another powerful sign that a woman is attracted to you is when she begins mirroring your body language without even realizing it. This is one of the most overlooked psychological signs of attraction because it happens subconsciously. People naturally mirror those they feel emotionally connected to. It is the brain's way of creating comfort, rhythm, and silent connection between two people. When a woman is highly tuned into your presence, her body starts responding to yours automatically. If you lean back in your chair, she may slowly do the same a few seconds later. If you touch your face, adjust your posture, cross your arms, or take a sip of your drink, you may notice her repeating similar movements shortly afterward. These actions are usually subtle, but once you notice them, they become impossible to ignore. What makes mirroring so important is that it reveals emotional engagement. A woman who feels disconnected or uninterested normally stays focused on herself, but when attraction is involved, her attention becomes locked onto you. Her body unconsciously starts syncing with your movements because she feels mentally and emotionally pulled into your energy. Picture yourself sitting across from a woman during a conversation. You lean slightly closer while speaking, and moments later, she closes the distance too. You smile, and she immediately mirrors your expression. You relax your posture and suddenly she relaxes hers as well. These are not random coincidences. Human beings instinctively copy the behavior of people they admire, trust, or feel attracted toward. The interesting thing is that many women do not even realize they are doing this. Attraction affects body language long before words become involved. That is why body language often tells the truth before someone verbally admits how they feel. This is also why calm and controlled men tend to appear more attractive socially. When your movements are relaxed and confident, women subconsciously fall into your rhythm. Your energy begins leading the interaction naturally, and when someone's body starts following your energy without conscious effort, it is usually a strong sign that emotional attraction is already present beneath the surface. One of the clearest signs that you stand out to women is when the compliments you receive go far beyond simple physical appearance. Attractive men do not only hear comments about being handsome. Women often become fascinated by the energy, emotional presence, and confidence behind the looks. That is when attraction becomes deeper and more personal. A woman who is only mildly interested might casually mention your appearance once and move on. But when a woman feels genuinely drawn to you, she starts noticing the small details that make you different from other men. She talks about your voice, your confidence, your calmness, your sense of humor, the way you carry yourself, or how comfortable she feels around you. These compliments reveal emotional attraction, not just surface-level interest. You might hear things like, "There's something different about you," or "I like talking to you." Sometimes she may struggle to even explain exactly what she likes. That confusion itself is often attraction. Women are emotional observers. They pay attention to how a man makes them feel, not just how he looks physically. If your presence creates comfort, excitement, curiosity, or emotional tension, she will start complimenting qualities connected to your energy instead of only your face. Imagine being in a conversation where a woman suddenly tells you that your voice is calming, or says she feels strangely comfortable opening up to you. Maybe she notices how confident you seem without trying too hard. These are powerful signs, because women rarely verbalize emotional admiration toward men they feel nothing for. Attractive men often create emotional impact without realizing it. Their confidence changes the atmosphere around them. Their calmness makes people feel safe. Their eye contact feels stronger. Their energy feels masculine and grounded. Women notice these things immediately, even when they cannot fully describe why they feel pulled toward you. And the deeper the compliments become, the stronger the attraction usually is. Physical compliments are easy. Emotional compliments require genuine attention. When a woman starts admiring your presence, mindset, communication style, or confidence, it usually means she has already accepted your physical attractiveness and is now becoming emotionally invested in the experience of being around you. Another major sign that you are more attractive than you think is when you constantly catch people staring at you. Attractive men naturally pull attention without needing to force it. Their presence creates curiosity the moment they walk into a room. And even when people try to hide it, their eyes usually reveal the truth before their words ever do. Most people are careful not to stare too long because they do not want to make their interest obvious. That is why attraction often shows up through repeated quick glances instead. A woman may look at you, quickly look away once you notice, then secretly check again moments later when she thinks you are distracted. These repeated looks are rarely accidental. Human attention naturally moves toward what it finds interesting, attractive, or socially important. Imagine entering a crowded room. At first, everything feels normal, but after a few minutes, you start noticing subtle reactions. A woman across the room keeps glancing in your direction during conversations. Another person looks away immediately after making eye contact with you. Someone else checks you out while pretending to focus on their phone or drink. These moments may seem small individually, but together they reveal something important. Your presence is standing out emotionally and visually. What many men fail to realize is that attractive people automatically become visual focal points in social settings. Others notice the way they move, dress, speak, or carry themselves. Women especially become observant around men they find appealing because attraction heightens attention. She may study your facial expressions, watch how other people react to you, or quietly analyze your confidence before ever speaking to you directly. Even other men notice attractive men quickly. Some may study you out of respect. others may compare themselves to you silently. Attention works both ways. When your presence consistently causes reactions from people around you, it usually means you are creating stronger social impact than the average person. The key is understanding that attraction is often subtle. Women rarely announce interest loudly. Instead, they reveal it through attention. And repeated attention is one of the strongest indicators that your appearance, confidence, or energy is affecting people far more than you probably realize. One thing that surprises many attractive men is how differently other men begin treating them. Male social behavior changes immediately when a man is seen as high value, confident, or naturally attractive. Some men will respect you instantly, while others will quietly compete with you the moment you walk into the room. Both reactions reveal the same thing. They recognize your presence. When men respect you socially, it becomes obvious in subtle ways. They pay attention when you speak. They include you in conversations naturally. They introduce you to other people without hesitation, because being associated with you raises social value within the group. Some men may even begin copying your style, haircut, mannerisms, or the way you speak because they subconsciously admire the reaction you get from people. Picture yourself in a group setting where everyone is talking casually. The moment you begin sharing a story or opinion, other men stop interrupting and actually listen. They laugh harder at your jokes. They ask for your thoughts before making decisions. This usually happens because confident and attractive men unconsciously project leadership energy, and people naturally respond to it. But not every reaction will be positive. Some men react with competition instead of respect. You may notice certain guys trying to constantly one-up you during conversations. If you mention an achievement, they immediately try to mention a bigger one. If women are paying attention to you, they suddenly become louder, more animated, or overly performative in an attempt to reclaim attention. Sometimes the competition becomes passive-aggressive. A man may throw subtle insults disguised as jokes or compliments because your presence triggers insecurity inside him. Other times, he may intentionally ignore you in group settings while trying extra hard to impress the women around you. These reactions usually have very little to do with you personally. They are emotional responses to perceived social competition. Women notice these dynamics very quickly. Social dominance and confidence are extremely attractive traits because they signal strength, status, and emotional control. So if you often experience both respect and competition from other men, it is usually a strong sign that your presence carries more social weight than you may realize. One of the strongest signs that women see you as attractive is when people automatically assume you have options, even when you never say anything about your dating life. This is something that happens almost entirely through energy and behavior. A man who is used to attention moves differently from a man who constantly seeks validation, and women are extremely sensitive to that difference. When a man knows his value, he usually speaks calmly, avoids over-explaining himself, and does not desperately chase approval from everyone around him. His confidence feels natural instead of forced. He does not act shocked when people like him because attention already feels normal to him. That quiet certainty creates an aura that women immediately pick up on. This is why women sometimes become jealous or suspicious before you have even given them a reason to. A woman may jokingly ask how many girls you are talking to, accuse you of being a flirt, or assume your phone is full of messages from other women. These comments are rarely random. They usually mean she already sees you as a man other women desire. Imagine talking to a woman casually, and she suddenly says something like, "You probably say that to every girl," or "I can't believe you're single." What she is really communicating is that your confidence, appearance, and behavior do not match the image of a man who struggles with women. In her mind, a man with your energy should already have multiple options available to him. This connects deeply to the idea of social proof. Human beings naturally value what other people value. When women sense that other women probably want you too, your attractiveness increases automatically in their eyes. Attraction becomes amplified by perceived demand. The interesting part is that this effect is often strongest in men who are not trying too hard. Desperation kills attraction because it signals scarcity. Calm confidence signals abundance. And when women feel like you are already desired by others, they instinctively become more curious about you themselves. Attractive men rarely need to announce their value loudly. Their behavior communicates it naturally. and people respond to that energy before they even consciously understand why they are reacting to you differently. At the end of the day, most attractive men never fully realize how much attention they actually receive, because women are far more subtle than men expect them to be. Attraction is not always loud. It is not always direct flirting, dramatic compliments, or women openly chasing you. Most of the time, attraction reveals itself through quiet behaviors, repeated attention, emotional curiosity, body language, and the way people respond to your presence without even thinking about it consciously. The problem is that too many men ignore these signs because they are stuck looking for obvious validation. They assume if women are not constantly approaching them, then they must not stand out. But real attraction rarely works like that. Women observe first, they analyze first, they become curious first, and only after they feel emotionally comfortable do they usually become more direct. If women hold eye contact with you longer than normal, repeatedly place themselves around you, mirror your movements, compliment your energy, stare at you when they think you are not looking, or assume you naturally have options with women, those are not meaningless coincidences. Those are indicators that your presence is creating emotional impact on people around you. And once you begin recognizing these patterns, your confidence changes naturally. You stop moving through life questioning your worth every time you do not receive obvious attention. You stop chasing validation because you finally understand that attraction is often happening silently before words ever become involved. The key now is learning how to own that energy fully. Attraction grows strongest when confidence becomes natural instead of forced. The more grounded, calm, and self-assured you become, the more magnetic your presence feels to other people. Women are drawn toward men who already carry themselves like they know their value. So if you recognized yourself in even a few of these signs, chances are you are far more attractive than you have been giving yourself credit for. The next step is to stop doubting it and start carrying yourself accordingly. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe because the next videos will help you understand attraction, confidence, and female psychology on a much deeper level. Until next time, take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next video.